This is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, coming to you live from Boca Raton, and you're listening to the Awesome 80s podcast with Michael and Lawrence. Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Go get her, Ray.
Two dogs.
Don't fuck with the babysitter.
Sprocket, old boy, what are you barking at? What do you see?
Now that's a real badge. I'm a real cop, but this is a real fucking gun.
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
What's happening? Hot stuff.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Awesome 80s podcast. This is Michael.
This is Lawrence. Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Jake's here.
Hi, Jake. How's it going?
We have a full house today. We got MH of Studio MH fame, which we're also currently in. We have MF Jones in the house.
Okay.
MH, when you bring the ladies back, does it do it for them?
It's a conversation piece.
All right, that's all we need.
It's the hook. It's the hook.
It's the hook. It's not your flying squirrels?
No, it's the hook. It's the
banner. All right, it's the banner. So how's it going, Michael?
I'd say it's going okay. Just living the life. Just me and Lady Baby. She's taking a nap right now.
Okay. She looks like a doll.
That's what you wanted to look like when she's sleeping.
Okay.
We wrapped her up. She's swallowed. She's all swallowed and good. She was really bitchy. I fed her, and then she got super bitchy. Then I swallowed her, and she's fine now.
Can you say she's bitchy? Is that okay?
I think it's fine. Like, she'll just like, I fed you, I held you, changed your diaper, we tried the pacifier, and now you're still bitchy. So,
MF Jones. I'm sorry, MF Jones. How we sounding?
Sounding good.
All right, we're sounding good so far. So far, so good, guys.
Okay.
Hey, let's talk about movies first. Before we talk about what we're going to talk about. Actually, real quick, Demonic. It's a book. You can get it on Amazon, I think, by Garen Cockrell. Check it out.
Send me the links. I'll put it in the show notes, Glenn.
You have show notes?
Theawesome80s.com.
Awesome. Hey, I went and saw that vacation movie the other day.
Okay.
I went with my parents and my sister.
Jake's shaking his head.
Jake went. Come on over here, Jake.
I think I saw it on the Facebook. I think I'm friends with your dad on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't put like all of a sudden I'm sure he's like regular dudes. I'm gonna say regular dudes like me. They post something like once a month, and he posts something once a month, and it was like a picture of the whole family, children and all, 7-year-olds and all, going to see Vacation.
They're not 7.
I don't. They look like they're 7.
So let me tell you about that picture. Mom busts out her selfie stick because she wants to commemorate the experience. So my mom pulls the selfie stick out of the purse. That's not working. Dad's getting frustrated because they just want a family pic. They want to commemorate the day, the night, the experience. So my sister gets some awkward teenager walking by, and he takes a picture. Everything is saved. I will say this. Hard R. That is a hard R.
Okay.
Jake, knowing that it is a hard R, what did you think of the movie?
It was funny for the most part, but it was a bad movie.
Like, why would you say it's a bad movie?
Because it's just bad. I don't.
Okay, so the movie was not a good movie, but none of vacation movies are good movies.
Okay.
But I laughed a lot. If my son was sitting next to me, would I have laughed as much? Not sure. My mom was sitting next to me on one side, so I don't know if that's much better. But my son was like a few seats down with the other kids, so I felt a little better.
Like when you're in class and it's something you're not supposed to laugh at, like all of a sudden you laugh at it.
Yeah, I like the word rim job a lot. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. It's been a while since I've laughed that much in a movie theater at a movie. So I recommend it. I recommend it. It's not a good movie, but I laughed a lot. If you're into that sort of humor, like a 10-year-old who every time he's on screen, which is half the movie, says fuck a lot. If you're into that sort of thing, that's the movie for you.
I've heard there's a scene where Jake, cover your ears. I've heard a scene where they just talk about vagina. They just say vagina like 30 times in one scene.
They say they what now?
They say vagina. Like
Oh,
30
I'm sure that. Oh yeah. Yes.
No, I don't even remember that.
Oh, it's like this, like the fourth scene of the movie.
Okay.
All right. Jake, you can hang out and do whatever, play your game, and when I need you, I will call back upon you. All right. Do you have anything that you're working with?
Well, we didn't.
Jake, you don't have to. You can sit here.
You're supposed to
I'm doing all kinds of stuff right now, Glenn. We didn't. We haven't had a show since the Roddy Piper situation.
What, Rowdy? What happened to Hot Rod?
What are you talking about?
Did something happen to Hot Rod?
Yeah, something happened to the Hot Rod. I think.
Did you get a cold?
Didn't he have lymphoma? Didn't he have? Wasn't he struggling from cancer for like
He
the past?
beat that 2000. He beat that. He's cancer free.
Sometimes it comes back, Glenn.
It did. You know, he had a heart attack.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was pretty bummed. Bummed by that.
Well, it just feels like when you become a professional football player, like you're signing off for like 10 years of your life. It's going to be gone at the end of your life. But with wrestling, it could be like 20 or 30 years even.
Well, here's the thing with Hot Rod. First, I've gone on record on the Old School Wrestling podcast and stated I am not a huge Hot Rod fan. There's a lot of things about Hot Rod I did not enjoy, but when he passed away, it kind of hit me a little more because I wasn't expecting it. He was on TMZ twice last week. He was on the Rich Eisen show last week. Like, he was in perfect health. He seemed. His family has stated that he was in really good health. And the thing is that every interview he's done recently, he always talks about how he's just on Sklar Brothers podcast 3 weeks ago. He talks about how his son Colt is his best friend. And so I think and even though Colt's in his 20s, I think I just felt bad about that. I mean, he's a family man, stayed with the same wife, which if you listen to the Ric Flair podcast, you will know no one does.
Yeah, because I watched the WWE documentary about him, and he seemed like, for all his baggage, because pretty much all those wrestlers have some kind of baggage. For all his baggage and everything, seems like he had kind of a fairly normal home life, or at least he created one with him and his wife and his kids.
My son's opening bubblegum right now, and in my mind, I'm really hoping that it's because he wants to kick ass after he finishes that bubblegum. Salute the Hot Rod, but I'm guessing that's not the case.
The fruit by the foot, or is it Big League Chew?
What do we got here? What are we playing with? Whoa, it's Bazooka. Check out what Bazooka looks like now.
Looks like some weird 70s bazooka.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
there was one picture that I reposted on our Facebook page. It was kind of in reference to last week's podcast where I talked about because you had the big rubber WWF figures.
Yeah.
This is my black Hulk Hogan. He was buried in the yard. He was uncovered from the garden, and now he's black. I'm just saying. But there was a picture on our Facebook page that had all the little figures, the ones that you had displayed in the china cabinet, in the fancy china cabinet in our apartment. And they had all of the dead figures from the 90-92 wrestling figures. There was Dusty Rhodes, there's Yokozuna, there was Ultimate Warrior was there, but they're all probably the 3.5 to 4 inch ones, not like the 8 inch big rubber ones. And they're all welcoming him to the other side. And I'm like, oh damn it. Cause I don't get really emotional. I get emotional about action figures. There, I said it. I get emotional about action figures, and it's he's to me, he's a real guy, but more the more you can touch him, when they create something like that, you can touch it and hold it against you. This is my guy, and then all of a sudden, the guy that guy represents, he's just gone forever, But
yeah, I'm used to wrestlers passing away, but this one, like I said, I don't know why I felt so bad about it, but I did. Krista came home right when I found out, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, Hot Rod died. She goes, "Don't they die every week?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know why I feel this way."
I've been kind of upset. Sometimes Delaney says jokes she knows she can get you with those jokes, and
I don't think she meant it that way. She was just being. I don't think I. In her defense, I have sentiment to things. I get emotional about things that I have no right to be emotional about sometimes. So I think she's just kind of sometimes she just has to sit back and be like, why is he so emotional about this? And I don't really.
What now, Glenn?
Right. It's kind of creeping me out that Lady Baby's looking at me.
You can see her staring at you.
Oh, I swear to God, she just opened her eyes before you turned around.
She
Yeah, I was right. I saw that.
need a pacifier? Okay. You're okay. You're okay. Everything's fine. It's okay.
It's like a doll just came to life and ate me. All right, so let's talk about our movie. You want to do that?
Yes, the 1979 classic, The Jerk.
Now, do you know when in '79 this came out? I meant to look that up.
I don't really care, but I mean,
Well, no, but I have a reason.
go ahead. I'd assume it'd probably be late because you were in September, right?
Right, that's why I was looking it up, because my mom just recently told me that I saw this movie when I was very young. Oh, but they were in the theaters for like 7 months at that point. Yeah. So this was, I think I was just a couple months old, and she took me to this movie. I slept through it, which made me, it made me feel good. Honestly, it did, because I was like, I was raised correctly.
I honestly, I kind of took what you said earlier, because you told me about this before, to heart. I went online to look for earplugs so I can take the lady baby to episode 7, probably to the new Star Wars. Probably like the third time I see it, I'll take her during the day. Because if you haven't seen it by then, and if it's a daytime showing, you deserve to have a baby crying next to you. You know what I'm saying?
MH is very happy with your parenting decision.
Okay. Well, Delana and her brother are both Star Wars babies. Like, Delana, her mom was pregnant with Delana, and the day after she saw Empire, she was born. And then with her brother, it was the day after, like, they went and saw Jedi, and the day after he was born.
I thought you meant conceived. So.
Hey, I want to show you my lightsaber. Oh, God.
So, this movie, I, as a parent, I don't know if I failed or not, but my son had not ever, Jake, he's sitting here, he never watched this movie until last night. So last night was the first time he ever watched it. And at first, I was like, just go upstairs, because, he's got the TV in his room, and it was late, and I was just going to watch it. And then, like, he came down, he was kind of doing the crane neck thing, like just trying to see what's on screen. I was like, you can watch it. That's fine. He's displaying it for you right now. He's doing the crane for you. Why does he want me to watch this? So I was like, you can watch it. And I was talking to a friend earlier today about Jake watching it, and like he laughed at the parts. He got it. I think. Jake, do you think you got this movie? Some parts, most of it. I mean, you laughed at the parts you should have laughed at, and that made me think, you know what? I am doing something right. I don't think MH wants your foot on his couch. I see. It's okay.
Is it the new couch or the old couch?
It's the new couch.
Do you approve of the use of foul language? Because I was surprised how much they say shit in this movie a lot.
I think, his mouth's full of gum right now, which is great podcasting. When it's me saying the foul language, it's a no-go in Jake's world. But when other people say it for humor, he's all in. Correct? Nod? Yeah, okay. So I can't say foul language, but yeah. I should be held to a higher standard? I don't understand. So let's start. So, bum? I'm not a bum.
I'm a jerk.
I only have two things, my friend and my thermos. I was born a poor black child.
This was part of his stand-up earlier when he was, Let's Get Small, the record. And then also, I watched this documentary about banjo pickers. And Steve Martin, he played one of the narrators in it, and he had a whole scene where he talked about one of the Delta Blues banjo pickers, and he was like, he was born a poor black child. I'm like, like it's like this dead serious documentary about banjo players.
Well, he's got to add a spin. By the way, there's a lot of podcasts out there. Some of them, most of them audio only, not a lot of them video. You're not going to go anywhere and get a guy feeding a baby with a bottle and podcasting at the same time. That is what we bring to you on the Awesome 80s podcast.
One other thing in the documentary, Steve Martin did talk about, because he's a well-accomplished banjo player, and I think it'd be really cool to see him in concert. But he was talking about how Pete Seeger had this like thing you'd send away for in the mail, and that's how he learned to play the banjo. Was just like learn how to play banjo from the mail-in catalog. It was kind of cool to just see how he took this banjo thing he learned when he was a little kid and transferred that kind of performance into like, yeah, I want to be a comedian, but not really a comedian, more of like an anti-comedian.
So let's just set the tone. This movie came out in 1979. Obviously, we're bending the rules a bit, but I don't care. Screw you. Nick Swisher officially acquired. You're welcome. Bleacher Report. So this movie, Steve Martin's at the height of his powers, we'll say. His comedy albums are topping the charts. He's just finished several successful runs on Saturday Night Live as a host, where he came up with things like King Tut and Wild and Crazy Guys or whatever. So this is like height of his power, Steve Martin. And he did such a great job in this movie. So the movie is he's the main character. His name is it Nevin Johnson? Navin Johnson? Sorry, Navin Johnson.
Who likes his sandwich wrapped in cellophane.
Yeah, he's a simple man. He was born a poor black child in Mississippi. So it's him. He's on the street in the beginning. He's not a bum. He's a jerk. He looks like a bum. And he's going to tell the story of how he got there. So we go back to Mississippi. Looks like a poor...
Much like Sunset Boulevard, they start with the end at the beginning, and we see how at that point.
Spoiler alert. Now, you and I drove through Mississippi last year.
Yeah.
It's not a good-looking state.
I would not say handsome.
It's not a handsome state. It's not a state that's going to get asked to prom.
I mean, they'll go with their cousin or whatever.
It's a state that's going to have to try harder to work what they got. It's not being handed anything.
Okay, exactly.
You hope that it's well endowed, so at least has a chance in life.
Or it goes the extra mile. Whatever the extra mile entails.
Yeah. If someone wants an RJ, you're going to be looking.
Okay.
So, so we go inside the log, not even like a twig cabin, I guess,
Yeah, it's a shotgun cabin situation.
Yeah. He's sitting around the dinner table. It's his birthday. He's a little different than everyone, but, he just thinks it's part of life.
For his birthday cake, he got Tab, 2 Twinkies, and then tuna fish sandwich.
Wrapped in cellophane.
Is this like a white person meal? Is that what the deal is? Like they all know he's white, so they're gonna give him white people food, or what was it?
Okay,
what's the joke?
You're the problem in this country. It's people like you and Trump who try to say this is white and this is black. Things are universal, Michael.
Why was it got a Tab and Twinkies?
Okay, that's pretty white, but I'm just. So he gets emotional after his birthday. So he runs into his bedroom. His mama comes in with her ample bosoms.
Dippo. Anyone would get emotional for that.
Yeah, and she's got ample bosoms, and she rests his head there. But she finally has to tell him the secret, and that is that he was left on their doorstep, and they raised him at their own. Which, all right, you said it. Say it out loud.
And that he'd stay that color forever.
Stay that color. You mean I'm going to stay this color?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Jake, right before you said it. And maybe that's why they will be best friends. Whatever. No big deal.
You've been trying to be best friends with my child for a while. Maybe you need to put more time in. I'm just saying.
Maybe make more of an effort.
He has a phone. You could text him. Actually, no, you can't.
Okay, don't.
So Navin, after a lot of consideration, he's laying in bed. He can't sleep. He hears Grandma's radio, and it's a white type song he can dance to because he has no rhythm.
It's so funny. Like everybody in front of the house is doing their dance. Everyone's singing their song. It's a musical family, and he's got no rhythm. Every time he's snapping his fingers, it's on the offbeat, not on the actual part of the song.
Even though you're missing the humor of Jake and I's physical comedy, I'm glad the listener and viewer gets to see it.
Okay. I've just projected off to the side too. So.
I understand. So, he's gonna go out into the world because if St. Louis can broadcast this type of music, then who knows what else is out there?
You know what's great in St. Louis? All those great white people. You know, I got to go where those people are at. That's what Nathan Johnson's thinking.
So Nathan Johnson, he's gonna go out. He announces he's gonna go out in the world. His father gives him a nice pep talk. What's this, son? Shinola.
What is
this, son? Michael, what is this? Shit.
So at least as he travels into the world, he knows the difference between shit and Shinola.
You got to know the difference between shit and Shinola.
I think it was his cousin or older brother. He talked to him about STDs.
Yeah, well, you're going to catch something out there, so see a doctor. And we find out that the Lord loves a working man and don't trust Whitey. These are the lessons he is taught. I got to switch because I have to switch to where my notes are. I use several devices.
I've watched this movie 3 times. I mean, I kind of exaggerate sometimes, but I literally watched this 3 times. It's so much fun watching all the little jokes. This is a cool 91 minutes, but it is packed with 91 minutes of jokes. Like there's three or four jokes every 30 seconds.
I've said this before, and it's true about this movie. There are certain movies that I watch at least once a year, and this is one of them. I make sure at least once a year I sit down and watch this.
It just felt like picking up stuff as you're going. You're like, that's funny. That's fun. Oh, I didn't even see that coming. But
right. Yeah. MH, do you enjoy this movie?
Yep.
When do you think the first time you saw this movie was?
I was definitely early teens.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I mentioned, you mentioned earlier, I saw it when I was only a couple months old.
You were being swaddled.
I was being swaddled. But I think I know I was at least early teens, maybe even younger, because obviously my parents have an affinity for this movie. And, I mean, it's never gotten bad. Like, there was a dark period where I didn't get to see it, or I didn't watch it, I didn't seek it out. But then once I refound it in my adulthood, game on.
Well, I remember a little bit like on HBO when I was a little kid, but I didn't really get all the jokes. But then probably 15 or 16, watched it again and probably saw it 12 times within like a month period. It's just it really hit you home, and you're like, this is one of the best movies ever.
I agree. Well, I've always said, when people say your favorite movie, I've always said, "Oh brother, where art thou?"
Yep.
Because it is absolutely one of my favorite movies. But watching this last night, I honestly 100% truly believe this is my favorite movie. Based on the amount of times I watch it, it never gets old. Like the last couple times I wanted to watch "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?", I kind of talked myself out of it. And not that it's not, I still think it's a great movie, and it's probably number 2 on my list. But for some reason, it's a movie that's good, but this movie just makes me laugh and feel good. Like I just feel good watching this movie. So there's a gag where he's trying to hitchhike. In front of the house. He's there all night. He finally gets a ride. He gets dropped off at the end of the fence. And then we get a couple cut scenes where he's hitchhiking. He ends up, he's at a hotel.
I guess a quick question. Would you green light, if you're head of an executive of a studio, would you green light this film to be made today?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Well, you know what? It honestly would depend on who's starring it, because the star makes this movie. As I mentioned earlier, Steve Martin was at the height of Steve Martin powers when this movie was made. But honestly, the star makes this movie, and if you don't have an actor who can pull it off, and off the top of my head, I can't honestly tell you someone who today I think can pull this off. Anyone have any ideas?
Steve Carell, maybe.
MH said Steve Carell, possibly. I think that's a possibility.
Because he can play like the aw shucks every man. He kind of plays character in 40-Year-Old Virgin. But yeah, go ahead.
MH just threw out Ed Helms, who I think actually is probably the best.
He's more Steve Martin like that.
No, I completely agree. And he plays the banjo.
Yep.
So.
And he's musically inclined. You're correct.
Yeah, and he was on The Daily Show last night, along with every other freaking Hollywood star who I forgot started on The Daily Show.
When I watched the end of the Colbert Report, I was definitely getting kind of misty. But the other one, it felt more empowering last night because he was talking about not dealing with bullshit. I thought that was pretty good. At the end of Jon Stewart's goodbye.
Real quick, and I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but it's a small detail. Have you followed all? He had there's a recent dust up between him and Wyatt. Can't think of his name.
Y.A. Tittle.
No. Who did you say, Michael?
Y.A. Tittle. He wasn't he played for the 49ers?
No.
Y.A. Tittle.
No. Anyway, it was an African American gentleman who was on his report on the Daily Show. For
yeah,
years.
the comedian who was on the show.
They had
Mark Maron 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago on Mark Maron's podcast, Wyatt said some very unflattering things about Mr. Stewart, and he showed up last night. And they had a very planned awkward segment that you could tell they didn't actually plan ahead. It was very off the cuff, but you could tell they had talked and just said, we're going to do this. And they're basically like, are you cool? I'm cool. Are you cool? I don't know. And then they had a couple jokes. It was pretty cool to see that because you could tell Jon Stewart didn't want to leave anyone out. And I'm sure it was probably tough for him to reach out to him, but I'm glad he did.
It was because I wasn't sure if he was going to be on the show or not, too.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy that happened. All right, well, back to this movie. So he gets dropped in a motel.
Hotel, motel.
Holiday Inn.
Oh, I love the dog.
If you can't hear that, Jones just said, I love the dog.
They might have prostitutes there. They might have other things who live there.
Steve Martin gets woke up by Shithead. Well, at the time, we don't know his name. At the time, he's Hero. And he believes that there is a fire. So Steve Martin alerts the motel that there's a fire. He wakes everyone up, evacuates, they get out. And it turns out it's not a fire. Your comrades show up to take care of the blaze. And there's no blaze. So then Asian gentleman says, you should name him Shithead. And he does. He starts calling him Shithead.
And so at this point, they hit the road together.
Yeah, they're on the road. They're doing their thing.
Hey, going to St. Louis. No, my name's Narvin Johnson. Eventually, he ends up at Mr. Hartunian's gas station.
Jackie Mason. I've gone on record that I don't like Jackie Mason, but I really like him in this movie.
Bought in the bathtub and bought it to bubbles.
Yep, that's it.
I guess I know him from, he's done some stand-up, but I really remember him from this and Caddyshack 2. That's really the only things I remember.
He had that show Chicken Soup.
Not familiar. What's Chicken Soup?
It was a comedy back in the situation comedy.
Okay.
It was not great. I hate Jackie. Oh, I don't hate him. I just strongly not a fan.
Well, I think he probably seems very like old vaudevillian, like a throwback to that. That's what I don't know. Because he seems like a bigger, louder, more ethnic kind of entertainer. And it's funnier back then, but I don't know how that translated to 80s culture or us finding it funny.
Yeah, so he gets a job at Mr. Harpoonian's gas station.
Who's got a hot wife, and the only reason she's with him is because he's got money.
Yeah, he's very honest about it. Very honest about how he knows how he got his wife. But it seems a down-to-earth guy. He gives him a free apartment, which is an awkward scene in a urinal. Because you know what? He just likes anything. He loves anything. He gets a.
It was kind of funny because he became. He's teaching me how to be impatient with people.
Jews. He gets $1.10 an hour, and this is where we find out he sends money back home, which is nice. He's helping the parents out. He sends them a little.
Just a little taste.
Yeah, a little note. What's going on? He gets, but one Sunday he gets put in charge of a gas station, and then the Latinos show up. This is very stereotypical 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, is there going to be like 70s and 80s? It was lots of Asian racial stereotypes, lots of Latino racial stereotypes in film. I don't know if it's ever going to happen like that again, but it was definitely strong in this movie. You can tell they stole some lady's handbag, and they stole her blue Chevy as well.
I just got in trouble for giving MH the finger by my son. So
That's fine.
That's not great. Yeah. So yeah, they had tons of handbags in the car. So because that's what 70s Latinos do. Not today's Latinos. No. Let's not make that mistake. We are not trying to racially divide anyone. This is a stereotype.
That's the same.
They offer him a joint. He didn't need it though. Doesn't want the joint.
He's happy just pumping gas and changing oil.
Now, why do you think he looks at a newspaper? How did he know the credit card was stolen?
I think he could just. It's just an easy plot device, so he could
Well,
freak
no, they explained the name. They said it was his. The guy said it was his wife, Mrs. Nussbaums, which obviously is incorrect. But that's like the whole thing of Navin is that he's a doofus. So, what made him think the card was stolen? It's just a question. There's no good answer to it. It's just something I was wondering. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay.
So, he goes in real quick. He calls 911. Lets him know, hey, I got these criminals here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want him to get suspicious. So he runs back out. They want white walls.
Yeah, I think some of the funnest moments are when he gets like overconfident with the criminals and he gets super confident on the phone. Like, these guys aren't going anywhere. I'm a cool cat. I'm Maven Johnson.
Well, outside of the fact that there's no such word as funnest, I agree with you.
All right.
Most fun.
Most fun.
Okay, Miriam.
So, he agrees that he's running back and forth. He eventually attaches the bumper of the car to a church, which is across the parking lot.
Hook it up to the plumbing. Ready to go.
JT over here is laughing about that. Apparently that was visually appealing to the 13-year-old eye. So as he's on the phone, and he offers him a free oven mitt because he thinks that's going to keep him to stay. He runs over to the phone and goes, don't worry, I got him here. And he goes, oh, no, I don't. Well, and he describes the car, and it's the one that's pulling a church, so I'm pretty sure you're going to see it.
I thought like the moment before they start pulling the church away, they're like talking to each other in the car. Like, you really want to stay for the oven mitt? No, we don't need the oven mitt. Let's go.
So, we assume they were captured. Jackie Mason says maybe just let him go next time as he's surveying the damage, but he doesn't get fired. And our next scene is not only one of my all-time favorite scenes, but what a great scene in this movie.
It's Steve Martin's favorite scene as well.
New phone books are here. New phone books are here. I quote that all the time. We still get like 3 phone books a year delivered. I don't understand why. They just sit on your porch or on your stairs and they get rained on, and eventually you just throw them away.
Years old and over to be excited about a phone book.
Was there a time in your life where you would get excited when the new phone book was here?
No, never.
I think I did because you used to get coupons.
Much like Steve Austin's podcast, he talks about getting pedicures and manicures occasionally. I think that's a good thing for a man to do, but also I think a man should also have a good tailor. And I was visiting my tailor in town, and all of a sudden a man from the city shows up and he's like, "Here you go." And he's like, he gave him his address, and it was like, I felt like I was living through this Steve Martin jerk moment. He's like, because it was a new business, it used to be part of another business, but they got cut in half, and he's like, "You're somebody now. Here's your address.
I'm somebody."
It's like, that's so awesome.
By the way, every man should get a pedicure every now and then. I mean, come on, gentlemen. Your feet are still important. You don't want janky ass feet.
Its feet get funky,
So I don't do manis, but I do get a pedicure every 6 weeks.
Okay, it's good.
Oh, Jake just said I should call it manlies.
Keep it clean down there.
Manly petties. So MH not a fan. But here's the thing: is you don't understand. They use this sea salt, and they give you and then since you're a guy, they do less work on the actual nails, so they give you a little extra in the massage, a little calf massage or some. Oh, it's delightful. I know I've gotten a petty over there with MF Jones before, so I know he's man. Anyway, so
Arms and arms.
we see Emmett Walsh. He looks through the phone book. He randomly picks Nathan Johnson. And he's going to start shooting him. We doing okay over there?
I'm replaying
Okay.
in my head.
MF Jones is replaying the scene because it's so good. So there's a defective oil can.
And there's
What? Yeah, Nathan keeps trying to get away from cans, and everywhere he runs, there's cans. Jackie Mason, Mr. Tartunian, ends up informing him that it's actually him he thinks is the target. So he speeds off in a car that has no tires, so he doesn't get very far.
He make sure he has shithead with him.
He has shithead with him. They run into the carnival. But so the joke here is that Emmett Walsh will try to shoot a man with a sniper rifle, but will not break rules when it says no non-carnival personnel past this point.
Yeah, authorized vehicles only.
Yeah.
Whoa. I got a code I live by, much like Steve McQueen, and I'm not just going to jump in there. And he ends up much like he was barking for the yak woman, but now he's going to be guessing people's weight. But now he's going to be guessing people's weight, which I thought was pretty awesome. But he wanted to protect all of his prizes. Like you can have this row to this part. You can have over here to like over here. Okay, I could guess your weight. Okay.
Holy shit. Hey, we just skipped a huge part. I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
So while at the gas station, he helps fix a guy's glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, only the most important storyline of the movie. So he comes up with a little handle, put on the guy's glasses, and the guy's a door-to-door traveling salesman, an inventor, and he offers.
They're kind of on the same wavelength. Like they're talking, they're moving, they're getting stuff done together. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's
So he
get
says, hey, if I can sell this, I'll split the company with you 50-50. Okay, back to the carnival. So, so Nathan's boss comes and is like, hey, because Nathan's he doesn't feel like he's done a good job at guessing people's weight. And the boss says, listen, you gave away 50 cents worth of shit and you made $14. And what his quote is, I'm sorry. Oh, it's a profit deal. I get it. He also sends a letter home to his grandma, and she farts a lot.
Yeah.
Grandma farts a lot. Anyway, so he meets Patty, the hairy daredevil.
She's the kind of lady that's got tattoos. Is there a part where you can stop talking and I could just talk to Jake for a minute, Clint?
Yeah.
Okay. Jake, there are going to be women out there that you're not going to want them as much as they want you. And sometimes they might want you to do things that you're not ready for. And you're going to be put in uncomfortable situations. And then, you have a present that you have. And you can't just give that present to anyone.
Jake has fled the room.
I'm sorry, Jake. Jake, no. I'll talk to you next time I see you. We'll talk about this. But yeah, she's a bad girl, and she can tell that she's been,
15 years to get her down.
15 years? He's only got 11. All right, Jake, you can come back. I won't let the angry.
I'm sorry to make it awkward. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's all my fault.
Hey, Michael, they sell pop-up books now.
They do?
Yeah, a lot easier.
They also pop-up book. She's a bad girl. Let's just say she's a bad girl.
She's a bad girl.
She's friendly.
She's very friendly and also mean.
She's touching butts all over that carnival.
But she claims him. She makes him his property.
Dibs.
Or her property, which makes things happen with his special purpose. He was told he has a special purpose, much like you tried to talk to my child about. I think we need to clear these things through me from now on.
Okay.
So they're in her trailer. We don't see what happens. We do know that it seems like he's on a ride. He mentions that.
And he's got a job. He's got all kinds of jobs now. And she's going to give him another job later.
Well, Grandma reads a letter about his special purpose to the family. And it seems like the only one who gets it is the brother / cousin. We don't know what. Oh, lady baby. Shh. But definitely, she wants to give him a blowjob at some point, which he's going to hopefully earn some money for. And so that's that. She gets his name tattooed under Jay's.
There's a lot of names down there.
A lot of names. But he's under Jay's, so that makes him feel good. And we see him operating the train next, and then we meet Bernadette Peters.
And he ends up saving this little blonde boy.
Yeah, the boy with the bullshit shirt on. Hey, is the soundboard on by chance?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
MF Jones, how are we doing over there?
Okay now.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Grandma reads the letter aloud about the special purpose. We meet Bernadette Peters. She saves him. Billy, the kid with the bullshit t-shirt on, and he asks her out on a date. Well, he tries.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like there's 3 or 4 other moments where he just speaks gibberish, and you got to be kind of on the ride for him. Just speaking gibberish as a ridiculous person. I want to go out with you. I want to go out with you. You asking me out on a date?
Yeah, so they're doing, it's awkward. He ends up, Patty shows up and she kind of beats Nathan up a little because she suspects what's going on. But he still takes Bernadette Peters out on a date. They in his trailer, they have the Capo Pizza. It's the best pizza in a cup you can get.
Well,
he licks her.
Also, I did want to talk to Jake about this too. There's certain, you can have sex without intimacy. You want to give? You want?
Okay,
No.
Jake's out of the room. We're not going to have that discussion.
Okay, but he's searching for kisses, and he never gets kisses.
Nathan just wants.
All he does, he wants kisses. The fire breathing lady in the carnival, he doesn't get kisses from her, but he's trying to get kisses from Bernadette Peters. And she gives him a kiss on the cheek without him even asking for it.
Now, do you find Bernadette Peters attractive?
She's kind of an unconventional beauty situation.
Okay,
Especially like at that point, it was like Cheryl Tiegs and like Bo Derek and like maybe Christy Brinkley. Like she is very attractive, and she did have a pictorial or 2 in the Playboy. I'm just saying.
Yeah. MH gave a bad look on his face. I disagree. I think she's very attractive. I actually just sent you a picture I want you to post on the Facebook today with 2 of my favorite ladies.
Sure. But I think she's more unconventional.
No. Look at the picture. Look at the picture. You're thinking different things. I want you to put this on the Facebook today.
Okay. Yeah, you really want it on Facebook? Oh, wow. Oh, that is good. That's a good picture.
That is a great picture. It's 2 of my favorite ladies. Angela Lansbury and Bernadette Peters.
Is it really what a girl looks like when she's 22, or is it what they're going to look like when they're 68? You know what I'm saying?
Well, this picture was obviously taken recently.
Yeah.
And
she looks good.
She looks great.
Yeah.
And Angela Lansbury for being 88 looks pretty good too. I'm just saying.
She's pretty good. She's a good-looking lady.
MH not happy with the choice of words I just used.
His flavor,
So I think Lady Baby's causing a distraction not in you, but in the feed. Is there anything you're doing differently?
I'm not doing anything different.
Okay. We'll go with it.
Okay.
So Patty shows up. Patty uses the word gash.
Yeah. After you watch it the 3rd time, you think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so Patty uses the word gash. That's an offensive term, right?
Sounds like a punk band, but yeah. The Gashes.
Yeah.
No.
So Marie punches out Patty, which is pretty awesome. They then go on an all-night date where they sing on the beach.
Yeah.
They play the band.
They live the good life. They sing songs together.
Yeah, everything's going good. Sorry, I'm all sorts of distracted here. He's about to ask her out, and she leaves him. That wasn't nice of her.
Apparently she doesn't. She's got a boyfriend, but not really. And he's got a girlfriend, but not really. You can tell that they want to be with each other, but she has class. See, there's two types of girls in this movie: the kind you want to date and the kind you want to marry.
Well, her mom wants to be a bitch.
Yeah, her mom might be kind of a controlling person as well. She wants to be like, her mom wants her to be with a man who's got a future, who's got a job. She's studying to be a cosmetologist. There's a future in cosmetology.
It's awarding. So,
she does facials eventually. She probably does mani-pedis as well.
I'm sure she does. So she leaves him a letter. It gets wet. He can't read it. He runs out. He uses a couple dogs, including Shithead, very inappropriately.
I'd like to. I mean, say you're the dog handler that day of the show, and they're shooting everything, and he's like, I want to be naked and hold the dog in front of me. Like, how do you talk to the dog handler and be like, no, it's gonna be okay. I'll be naked and I'll have a dog in front of me and a dog behind me. You want to touch the dog to your business? No, I'm not going to touch the dog's business to my business. They're not going to touch. It's just going to be a dog touching their business. I'm not going to hurt the dog with my business. It just seems like an awkward conversation that Steve Martin probably had with the nice dog people.
So he talks about leaving Shithead by the wayside. And he tells Shithead he's going to leave. And Shithead tries to leave, but he brings Shithead back. Like, he doesn't actually mean it. I think he needs Shithead more than Shithead needs him.
No, Shithead, you can go. No, come back. Shithead, I'm not going to be able to provide for you. There'll be enough for one person to eat. I don't know if there's going to be enough for two people. No, come back. Shithead, come back. Okay, and then just runs over and grabs Shithead.
So what happens?
Well, eventually he does propose to Bernadette Peters while he's in the bath, but he just wants a kiss. You can tell that's what he wants, is a kiss. Come and seal this with a kiss. And then then Shithead comes in. He's like, I just proposed to the dog. And she left him because she's got a future being a cosmetologist. And her mother is definitely not going to approve of this guy who's guessing people's weight in the fair.
So then it turns out he's going to start making money, he finds out, right?
His invention, the door-to-door salesman, honors lots of honor in this movie. He honors his agreement to give him half of what he made from the eyeglass invention. So he gives him a check for 250 big ones. We also see M. Emmett Walsh show up, who's apparently serving legal papers at this moment instead of serving bullets into oil cans.
Yeah. So Emmett Walsh has found a better career.
You can tell he was going through some stuff with him and his wife, and the person that got the blunt of it was Steve Martin and his oil cans.
Yeah. So he keeps trying to chase Naven down to serve him with papers. Naven's running away scared.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he gets him the papers. There's a big check. He's going to make a lot of money. He's on the news. Mom finds out about it. Bernadette Peters' mom. She tells him where he's at. He goes there
to know where she's at. How about 75?
Yeah. She sells her own daughter out for money.
Yeah.
Bernadette Peters. He shows up at her workplace.
He switches spots with an old Jewish man, because that's who it is, and and she peels off the skin, and it's not the old Jewish man who's trying to get 20 years less out of his life, 20 years off the years of his face, and it ends up being Steve Martin, and he professes his love to her because he wants his kisses, because that's intimacy.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you complete unplug the soundboard?
Okay.
Okay. There we go. So much peace now. Okay. Are you still with me? Michael?
Just probably put it.
It's on your own board. Let's see if that is out.
Michael? Text him. So, he goes to LA, does the old switcheroo with the match. They get married.
Yeah.
Which was a quick wedding, but that's okay. They buy a big house, and I'm going to need you to run it from there.
I've got pretty good sound on my end.
Yeah, it's. We'll talk about it later. Run the show. Yeah, you're silent. Hi, Michael. Hi, viewer.
What do you want to do?
Hey. Where's the command again?
All right, so they buy a big house. There's lots of naked people rotating on a bed. There's a clamshell tub. Lots of people are trying to get him to give him money. So there's investors involved. It's a situation. He's just trying to do the best he can. Everyone wants his money. You know, it's got to be tough, right? I mean, Jake, all of a sudden you got millions of dollars and everyone wants to try to get your money. What are you going to do? You going to give it to him? You don't know who's poor, who's not. So he ends up, he's on TV, he's living the life, and then Carl Reiner, of all people, shows up. He tries to take his money. He's going to sue him. Class action lawsuit because he has a wonky eye. It's horrible. Who has a wonky eye? So there's, but him and Maria, they're not getting along, right? Is money the cure to everything?
It's never the cure to anything.
Money
It's
is
your bills.
money is your bills. That's true, Jake. Money is never the cure. So he ends up losing everything.
Yeah.
He's broke.
What do you do?
He went from the outhouse to the penthouse, back to the outhouse, to no house. Good call. So he goes back. He lives on the street. Now this movie has come full circle, right? We're back to the beginning. He's on the street. He got no money. And all of a sudden, bam, family shows up with suits. Everyone's rich. Maria shows up with them. And it turns out all the money he was sending them, they reinvested. And they're all rich. Woo! Touchdown, Jake. They live happily ever after. I mean, this movie absolutely holds up. Do you think?
Yeah.
Michael? It's a great movie. It holds up. I love this movie. Like I said, it's my favorite movie. I would strongly recommend, if you haven't seen it for a while, that you watch it. And that's The Jerk, guys. That's it. So for Michael on the other end, MF Jones, for
MH.
MH and Jake.
What's up?
Stay awesome,
Stay
everybody.
awesome, everybody.